So the Las Vegas Raiders lost the job. So the Las Vegas Raiders lost against the Chargers, and we're going to go over a couple of things that I noticed after watching some of the game tape, and that is particularly related to Ashton Jeanty and the run game and what's going on with that, as well as what's going on with the injury report in regards to Jackson Powers-Johnson and Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders, because that's who we are going to be playing here in just a few days. So let's just jump straight into it, guys. Thank you so much for being here and subscribing if you haven't done so already. What you waiting for? Let's go Raiders. Hit that subscribe button and keep up to date with what's going on with the Raiders. Now, first and foremost, I want to say this, man. When I'm watching the Raiders run game, the game tape, not watching the game, but afterwards watching the game tape and the breakdown, and I've watched several other commentators, guys who are much smarter than me when it comes to the offensive line especially, there's something that is very clear. Number one, Jordan Meredith is extremely weak when it comes to being a center, and I really am starting to feel like, despite the fact that they moved JPJ over to guard, and I think maybe that was because they feared an issue with concussions with him and not wanting the center in and out with concussions, I'm starting to feel like Jordan Meredith maybe is at center is not the right piece to do. I think DJ Glaze played absolutely great. He is going to be our right tackle for many years to come. I think he's going to be a star right tackle. He played phenomenal football 2 weeks in a row now. Colt Miller is back to form, playing phenomenal football. The problem is the interior. And if you guys noticed, last year when they moved JPJ over to center, which is his natural position, it's his favorite position, it's where he plays best, the Raiders' run game really started to pick up, and you noticed it had a big deal and a lot to do with Jackson Powers-Johnson moving to center, because what he's able to do is he is able to really handle those double teams and move people out of the way and then get to the next level and hit a second and a third guy and pancaking linebackers and safeties and stuff. And you don't see that kind of power or movement from Jordan Meredith at center. And this is making it really difficult, which is why the Raiders predominantly did outside zone runs. Now, if you go back and you look at Ashton Jeanty's career at Boise State, he predominantly had a lot of success at inside zone runs. And the reason why is due to the fact that he has less to deal with. He's not having to read the entire offensive line if he's going all the way to the left or the right tackle for an outside zone. He's only having to make one small read, hit the hole, and gone. He's out, right? But in order to do that, you have to have interior linemen who can open up holes and move people out of the way. And it's not just moving them left to right, but you need to move them in the direction that your running back is running and out to the left or the right to open up those holes. Because if you don't, if you just are holding them and you're only moving them a little bit here or there, they're able to get off that block and hit Ashton Jeanty as he's trying to get through the hole. And listen, Ashton Jeanty is a special running back. I 100% believe that. But he's not going to be special if he does not have a hole to run through. He is not going to be able to get out of the hands of an NFL defensive tackle or a defensive end. He's just not. He's going to truck and run over some linebackers and some safeties and definitely some corners in the NFL. But he's not going to be able to get away from superstar players in the NFL that are 300 plus pounds, or even 270 and 280 pounds. Even a Max Crosby would easily be able to bring him down if he gets his hands on him. And so the offensive line needs to make some serious changes, or we're going to lose a lot of games because we're not going to be able to run the ball. And so I'm really starting to feel like you need to move Jackson Powers-Johnson back to center. Listen, Jordan Meredith is pretty decent at pass pro, right? He doesn't get blown up too much on pass pro, but he's a center. Centers don't typically get blown up on pass pro anyway, right? Because they're typically double teaming somebody. You have 5 offensive linemen on the line, and typically you only have 4 defensive linemen, which means the center is going to go one way or the other and double team somebody. So the fact that he's okay at pass pro doesn't really do you any good when what you need is somebody that can move the line on the run game. And if you have a center that can do that, you're going to have a lot of success. JPJ is definitely that guy. So here's the issue with JPJ. He's not coming back this week, guys. I know we all want to see him come back because Alex Kappa played horrible. He was not good. He did okay on some pass pro, but he is not better than JPJ. The fact they even had those two in a competition blows my mind. I don't understand it. He's not. He is not the Pro Bowler he was a few years ago. He is done. His career is over. We really need to invest in that guard position this coming draft for sure, because we are very weak. JPJ needs to go back, and I was watching another content creator, one of my favorite guys when it comes to the offensive line, Sanjeet. Love him or hate him, he does know what he's talking about when it comes to the offensive line. I got a lot of different disagreements when it comes to other things, but offensive line is pretty on target. He said Charles Grant should come in at right guard and maybe even move Jordan Meredith over to left guard, because Dylan Parham is struggling as well. Or make Jordan Meredith a rotational player. But Jordan Grant, who's listed as a tackle, actually plays better if you utilize him as a guard. He's big, he's fast, he's long. He's got everything that you need to be a good guard in the NFL, and he would definitely be better than Alex Kappa or Jordan Meredith. And so I think it's a great idea. I don't know why they went with the lineup that they went with. Alex Kappa is not good. He's done. Jordan Meredith, he's not powerful enough to be a center in the NFL. And JPJ is just better than any guard that we have, and he's better than any center we have. But the best place to put him then would be at center so that he can help out the weaker points at left and right guard. It makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, his concussion is going to probably hold him out this week. There is no good news coming out about him passing the NFL protocol, so most likely you're not going to see that. Now, I want to say, before we move on to the next segment, I want to say thank you to Box House, huge sponsor of the channel. Guys, you got to check him out. I absolutely love him. The product, the customer service, everything. If you need a small or a tiny home, he can absolutely help you with this. They can help you with this. If you need an ADU, if you need a mother-in-law suite, check out Box House today. They can deliver pretty much anywhere in the country. Customer service is phenomenal. The owner's phone number is on the screen, and the link to the company is down in the description. Now let's talk about Ashton Jeanty, because we've talked about the offensive line, and that is a really big part of it. Here's the deal with Ashton Jeanty. And I know we touched on this earlier about the zone, the outside zone versus the inside zone versus, maybe even going to power, right? Which we don't really have the personnel for power, so it's going to be zone regardless. Ashton Jeanty, we need not worry. What he showed us is that he has that big play ability. He just needs people to get him, and people need to block. Dante Thornton Jr. still doesn't know how to block. His blocking was terrible during that game. Even Jacoby Myers missed some key blocks that would have broken Ashton Jeanty out into the field to do the special stuff that he does. That's really where Ashton Jeanty is special. Once he gets past the line, it is going to be a hard press job assignment for anybody in the secondary to bring this man down. He's fast. He has an uncanny ability to stay on his feet even when he's going sideways. Juke moves, spin moves. He's got the whole repertoire. So we need to learn how to get blocking done much, much better. I think that this is a situation where Jack Besh on run plays should be out there. He's a much better, more physical blocking wide receiver than any receiver we have on the team. I think that especially Michael Mayer is a great blocker out in space. And Jacoby is typically a really good blocker. He just didn't have a good game this game. I think that's going to get cleaned up. But if you're going run, you've got to bring Dante Thornton out. You've got to bring him out because he can't block. He's not there yet. He's too raw. He might get there at some point, but as it stands right now, he's not. He's a paperweight out there that's more of a liability than anything else. Bring in Jack Besh, line him up on the outside, and let him just, rip into a corner, right? And this is going to, again, we got to get the offensive line fixed. But if that happens, you're going to see Ashton Jeanty get a lot more plays where he's got big plays. Now, with that being said, I know I seen this picture on Instagram where, Ashton Jeanty's only averaging 2.7 yards per game after 2 games, the lowest in the NFL. Okay, first of all, genius. He had 4.1 yards per game when he only got 11 touches against the Chargers. Okay, he did not have a good game against the Patriots, but again, it comes back to the offensive line. When he had some opportunities to get past the line of scrimmage on those 11 carries, he's picking up 6 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 13 yards. He did not get the ball enough. And if they can fix the offensive line situation, Ashton Jeanty is going to be just fine. I don't know that Ashton Jeanty is going to break any rookie records this year. He's already got a pretty slow start and he's not getting the ball. And the offensive line is not good enough. But watch what happens if the Raiders go out and they just go all in on the trenches next year for that offensive line. Ashton Jeanty might have a 1,500-yard rushing next year. It's not going to happen this year, guys. The offensive line is just not good enough. Even if you move JPJ back to center and you bring in Charles Grant at right guard, I still don't think the offensive line is good enough. We really need, at the very least, we need a star guard, and JPJ needs to be back at center. And we don't have a star at guard. Even Charles Grant would be better than what we have right now, but he's not a star. And I don't think he would be. Maybe he would grow into it. I think he's better than what everybody else we have at that position right now outside of JPJ. Guys, drop your comments down below. Let me know how you feel about it. Should JPJ definitely move back to center or keep him at guard? And how do you feel about Ashton Jeanty? Is he a bust? Are you out on him now, or are you going to have patience? See you in the next video.